viewers. Hey, in this video I'd like to give you some tips to Machu Picchu, and not the usual things that we all know about. Get your tickets in advance. There's 4 circuits that have been going on for the past couple years. Take your train in, etc., etc. No, there are 6 other items that I would like to give you tips to. Things that I wish I had known, things that I wish there had been some information about. These are very useful items. If you're going to Machu Picchu, or if you know someone that's going to Machu Picchu, convey these 6 tips to them. Let's get started. Machu Picchu no longer allows you to just come right into the middle and spread out and fan out like so many other national parks and museums. When you arrive at Machu Picchu, you're going to find that depending on the circuit that you're in, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and let me just show them to you real quick. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3 and 4. 3 going up to the left and 4 going over to Machu Picchu. But so let's say you're in 1 or 2, which is the most common. The first thing that you're going to find is that your path goes off to the left. It's the longest stairway to the tallest tower. And you can avoid this. If you're someone who should not be climbing right out of the bus, should not be climbing these stairs, nobody told you about them. And this is tip number 1. There are tour guides that you can hire, and they're not only going to tell you the Inca history that goes along with Machu Picchu, but they have the authority to take you down one of the original paths, and there are several. They may take you right into the exit, because this is the exit for all 4, and cut across to the most common path all the way across and let you go up the stairs that you're allowed, that you want to. And I don't think you'll be able to go up these stairs, but they'll get you into the park without having to venture to the tallest tower. So tip number 1, hire a tour guide, but make sure that tour guide is authorized to do that. I don't think they're all authorized to do that, but some of them are. We did see people walking in and out, but they were always with a tour guide. Tip number 2, you can do all 4 circuits in one day. When we bought our tickets back in February of this year, you could only buy 1 at a time. When you tried to buy the second half of the day, it would tell you you're already registered for the day. Yeah, well, duh. And we thought about buying a second half of the day, but we'd had enough after the first half of the day. So understand that you can do circuit 1 and then do circuit 2 and then go back and do circuit 4 if they're not having a packed day. Just have to remember that. If they are fully booked, fully packed, we were there on a really busy day in July, and we saw people going back into the line and buying more tickets. I'm not sure which circuit they were buying into. Maybe they were buying into 1, and I think that very few people actually do 1. I don't know. But you can go back and buy as many. If you're sprite enough and young enough and willing to pay for 4 tickets, you can do all 4 circuits. And I advise that every time you come back, you use the bathroom. So you have those options. The third item is, it's an unspoken thing, and well, you didn't hear it here, and so I didn't tell it to you. But on this very far side, on the other end of the sacred rock, is a little area where you can get some privacy. And a lot of people do. A lot of people did. It's a rather fragrant length of path. And okay, enough said. I will neither confirm nor deny my participation in this particular area, but that's tip number 3. Tip number 4. Get to know Google Earth. Somebody has gone to great lengths to create this amazing model in Google Earth. Use the 3D feature and get to know this area, this map. They have recently added more to it. When you can zoom in and take a look at the Temple of Sun, find out exactly where it is, figure out which circuit it's on, which actually the answer is none. You're allowed to walk below it on circuit 3 and 4. You're allowed to walk through the House of the Inca. And for 1 and 2, you're allowed to come down here and look into it. If you're sneaky and you're in circuit number 2, you can come around to this area, this part of the path. And circuit 2, of course, is the one that goes around. We never found anybody that was actually checking tickets, but maybe on the super busy days. We were there on a busy day, but it's pretty casual. So, but you can get to know where the Intihuatana is. You can zoom in. The really detailed areas, like this area of the sacred square and the 3 windows, those are the megalithic areas. The core is up here. The Temple of the Sun is here. Temple of the Condor is in this area. Get to know Machu Picchu by this amazing map that somebody has put together. It's fantastic. Not every archaeological site in the world has had somebody put this level of detail to it. But have some fun, get to know this. Also, follow Google Joe around. He has gone to places that you cannot get to today. One thing about Machu Picchu now is the circuits are very roped off. There are a lot of areas that you cannot get to. For example, I wanted to get into a room that I call the Treasury. Right in here, I think it's called the Treasury. Maybe it doesn't have a name, but this is roped off completely now, way out here with quite the rope, and you can't get in there. In this area is a little place, a stone that I call the 24-sided stone. And I wanted to take pictures of it because it's very unique. There's a stone that's been actually fitted in it so tight that it can't be removed to this day. I also wanted to get a closer look at this feature. It's like the bottom of a tower that's perfectly rounded. You can't even get close to the edges anymore. You are funneled in. But guess what? Google Joe can. He has walked down in here. You can get a good close look at that. He has walked in there. Even in the day when he was doing his thing, he's allowed to walk past the rope. You can't do that. So enjoy the 3D model and follow Google Joe around. He's allowed to walk down this plaza. You can't do that. He walks through this area. He walks all over the place. Google Joe has the best job in the world, and he is able to get into all the areas that you've paid the ticket to and you're not allowed to see. So follow him around. Tip number 5, the bus line. When you get into Aguas Caliente on your way to Machu Picchu, you'll come in on either the train Peru rail, which kind of parks here and lets everybody off. This will be coming from Ollantaytambo. The train will let you off right in this area. If you're coming in Inca rail, this is the Inca rail train station, and they'll let you out and you'll walk through the market. Either way, you get to the river here, you will see the beginning of the bus line. They sell the tickets up in this area, just one block up. You'll see the bus sign. You'll see the buses there in Google Earth with Google Joe. But don't go there first thing in the morning. If you're trying to take the 6:30 bus or the 7 o'clock bus, the buses start to stack up there, and they go all the way up the hill. If you get there the day before, it might be a good idea to check, but what I'm saying is we came in at this end, and then we had to walk all the way up. We weren't able to get even in line until we were way the heck up here. That's how busy that day was, and we were told this is typical. We could have just walked from our hotel right to the top of the line and come down the hill to form in it. That's tip number 5. Outside of also just take the time and check out Google Earth and follow Google Joe around here in Aguas Caliente. Getting to know a little bit of that really does save you a lot of effort because this is a confusing little town. It gets a little overwhelming and a little crazy. And the Urubamba River, of course, is here. But don't go to the head of the bus trail unless, of course, you're getting there at 4:30 in the morning when people are really starting to stack up. So that's tip number 5. Tip number 6, don't bother trying to find a coffee here in the plaza or at any of these restaurants at 6 o'clock in the morning. They don't get it. They don't understand how important coffee is to us. They'll be putting the pastries and stuff out by 6 or 6:30. They'll be willing to start to make a coffee if you ask for it. And it might be espresso, but there won't be any coffee ready And they don't really want you having coffee on the bus anyway, so you'll be rushed to drink it when you're standing in the line, which tends to file all the way up here 3 or 4 blocks. So unless you can get a coffee at your hotel or wherever you're staying, don't expect to try and get a coffee and a pastry on your way to the bus stop. So that just about wraps it up. Those are 6 useful items that I think I really wish somebody told me before I was going there. And I mean, there are a whole bunch of other little things about Peru that I could share some little tidbits with, but I hope you found those 6 to be useful. Travel fun, travel safe, travel megalithic. Thanks for watching.